It's time to kick off the summer of Eskate adventures. I'm out here today with my all-terrain electric skateboard. The goal today is we're going to go on the first electric skateboard backpacking trip of the season. Got my backpacking gear, and I actually have a brand new backpacking tent that we're going to try out, so I'm excited about that. So we're already into the first week of May, and the weather has not been playing very nice. It's been nothing but rain like almost every weekend, every time I want to get out and film a trip, and it's cold. It's been quite some time since I've ridden this thing with all of my backpacking gear on. I'm a little out of practice. And just like that, the first battery's cooked. What I don't like is that it just cuts out. It doesn't just kind of slow down to an absolute crawl. The battery did all right. It lasted a good 10 kilometers or so. I just had to ride out onto the pier here. So yeah, while I was standing on the pier there, I had a guy on an EUC, electric unicycle. He came up to me and started talking to me. He saw the backpack and all that. And if you're actually watching this, dude, thanks for coming to talk to me. Coming up on something. It looks like a raccoon. Hi, buddy. Oh, it's just a little guy. What's up, buddy? It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. You're good. You're good. Yeah, it's just weird to see raccoons this time of day because it's like noon. It's friggin' windy. Second and final battery swap of the day. All right, we're only a couple kilometers away. Just stopped at a Johnny on the spot, took a leak. Like I said in one of my previous videos, you never skip on an opportunity to take a leak. We are on our third battery. If I have to, I do have a fourth battery, but I don't know what its charge level is at. Doesn't come across very clear on the camera, but this hill coming up here always gets me, no matter what I'm riding, because it's a fairly steep hill and I'm basically right at the campground, and so my battery's usually pretty low. Well, I guess this is home sweet home for the night. Now that I'm not riding, I can de-layer into my sweater. I'll give you a tour of the campsite. Get my board set up charging, and then get my new tent set up, which I'm excited. This will be my first time using it. All right, grand tour. It probably looks larger on the GoPro than it actually does in real life. Not much privacy here. The site behind my site has like no trees or shrubbery or anything whatsoever. And yeah, the road's right here. I got a yellow power post over there, which is where I'm gonna plug the board in. And this is probably the most well manicured campsite I've ever set up at. Okay, first things first, I gotta get my board set up and charging. All right, so as I'm sure you saw, or if you're a long-term viewer of the channel, you'll know that I have several batteries, not just one big one. Oh, it's a little toasty in here, especially the one I was just riding with. Which means I need to run 3 chargers in parallel to charge all these batteries at once. Which means I gotta have some sort of outlet splitter in order to have everything all plugged in at once. And if you remember some of my previous videos, I had a pretty simple one. I actually upgraded to one that's smaller and has USB ports on it. So it's got 3 outlets on it, as well as some USB stuff for charging, like my remote. And it all just needs one single outlet. I didn't think about that. The way this sits, like this, one of the outlets is going to be blocked from the port cover. I might be able to get the other outlet in the right beside it. We'll see. This is why we field test. My rat's nest of chargers. Okay, yeah, I can get one in there. Yep, we've got power. Well, that's a problem. The positive wire for my charging port on this battery just popped out, and I don't have a way to repair it. Thankfully, I've got that smaller battery, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get me home tomorrow, because that small battery is not enough to replace that big one. It's like half the capacity. You can see the positive terminal on the battery charge port there, and the wire that's supposed to be attached to it, but is no longer attached. Okay, so I've got the 3 batteries that I can charge charging. Worst case, I might have to stop and charge somewhere for an hour. It's never mics again video unless something goes horrendously wrong. That's cool. I love a campsite that has a good view of the water. So my new tent is a blue tarp. No, I'm just messing with it. It's actually my ground sheet, because the tent does not actually have a really sturdy bottom to it. It says it's supposed to use a ground sheet, but I don't have the ground sheet, so I'm just going to use my my blue tarp. Should work. My new tent is the OneTigris Stella 1-person, and it is a noticeable upgrade over my previous one. I can actually sit up in this one, and it's freestanding. Oh man, am I stoked about this being freestanding. This is my first time trying it out, so I'm not going to tell you that it's fantastic or anything like that, but I am excited to try it out. This is my other tent, and it was falling apart. Oh, at least the ground's nice and soft, so the pegs are going in nice and easy. So there's the footprint of the tent. The blue tarp that I'm using is the ground sheet. I mean, it's not a perfect fit. It's actually smaller than I thought it was going to be. For a makeshift ground sheet, I think it's doing a pretty good job. Here, this ought to give you a sense of scale. Yeah, let's get those poles up. Well, the weather has definitely changed quite significantly since I first left to come up this way. It is now saying that there's a storm risk for later. So I definitely think I need to put the fly on, and needless to say, I think this tent is going to get a real first test tonight. All right, now that this thing is all set up, I am loving this thing. I have this vestibule stretched out. This is going to be the rear of my tent. I have a nice protected space to keep my skateboard once the rain starts. So I'll stick the skateboard under there and zip up the zipper and combine that together. And then this is the front of my tent. It's kind of mirrored on both sides. It has a front and a back that are both identical. I've got the one side of the fly pulled open so I can get in and out, and then a nice little space to keep stuff on the outside of the tent, like my helmet and that. Talk about a dramatic improvement over my previous backpacking tent. So it's got a mesh door, so you can unzip the main fabric and just have the mesh, or you can have a full single wall tent up in addition to the fly. This thing's a 4-season tent, so this thing could be used even in winter. Can you tell I'm excited about this thing? We have space for days in here. And this is only the 1-person. I could have got the 2-person, which would have been an even wider tent, but I figured I'm not going to waste the money and space and weight. There's so much more space in here. For the first time in years, Mike has a proper backpacking tent. Well, I've been sitting here relaxing only for a few minutes. What was a blue clear sky has some clouds rolling in, looking increasingly more nasty in the horizon. So that nasty weather that I was calling for, I think we're gonna get that after all. So I gotta go prepare my skateboard so that it's protected against the elements in case rain rolls in. We're in for a rough night of rain. So I got my rain poncho here. It's one of those tarp style ones, so you can undo the clips on the side. Put this over top and then just gently tuck this under the wheels. There. And just like that, it's protected against the elements. It's tucked under all 4 wheels, so it's going to be held in place. It's basically anchored down by its own weight. Should be enough to keep it protected from quite an intense amount of rain. You know, since I'll be inside of my tent, I won't need the poncho. There's so much room in this tent that I can bring my backpack in here and just have plenty of room to just move around and sit. Like, I could sit up. Oh. Yeah, it is fully overcast now, but I gotta get something to eat. For the first time, I have the luxury of just like tossing all of my gear everywhere in the tent and not having to worry about it like blocking my space. This thing's a luxury, man. Like, you've seen the tent that I'm used to using. And if you haven't, go see some of my prior videos. It's a glorified mesh coffin. I can sit up and not even touch the top. I've got this Norris Sidekick in here, but this bag looks diseased. Yeah, I don't think this is any good. This bag is all destroyed. Yeah, it's not airtight, so that's garbage. The old tried and true Quaker oatmeal and a packet of hot chocolate. And I figured out my plan to get home in the morning with my gimped battery, by the way, so we're all clear there. You like these little 3D printed gas cap covers? I lost the one for this gas canister, so I have a 3D printed replacement on there. The temperature's starting to drop. I can see my breath. It's going to be quite sludgy by the time that oatmeal soaks up the water, especially with the hot chocolate powder in there. I just got to wait for that to absorb everything. You know, instant oatmeal isn't my favorite meal in the world. I don't hate it, but I don't go out of my way to eat it either. It's just one of those like, things. So I've been looking at the weather, and it's supposed to be even colder than it was supposed to be tonight, and it's already seasonally below where it should be. That's exactly why I'm still packing colder weather gear. I'll be fine, but the electric skateboard, it would have already been pushing it, trying to ride home on the gimped battery capacity, and with it gonna cold soak out in these cold temperatures overnight, I wouldn't have enough to get home right on battery capacity. So what I'm gonna do is, there's a train station that's close-ish. I'm gonna ride there, ride at 2 stops, and then ride the rest of the way home, and that'll cut down the amount of distance I need to ride dramatically. Bit of a cheat to get home, but you know, I wasn't expecting my battery to just suddenly go kaput. I could hear rain falling on top of the tent. It's starting. We're supposed to get absolutely dumped on over the next 2 hours, and then it just goes away, and then it's done. So I'm all locked up in my tent. Whoa, it got real dark. Oh, well, I'm hearing thunder. Yep. I think it's time to zip up my vestibule because I have moisture starting to come in and get into the tent. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that up, but no dice. Now I don't have rain dribbling in, although I did get some moisture in here, but whatever. That'll air dry in short order. Definitely putting this tent through its paces in the first night. On the plus side, with the vestibule all zippered down, it actually traps in heat a little bit better in here. We've got a bit of wind blowing, shaking the tent occasionally, and you can hear the rain. I didn't catch it on camera, but there was a big thunderclap earlier. Alright, the rain seems to have buggered off. It's still pretty wet outside, but at least it's not raining anymore. And hints of the sun are starting to come in. Yeah, it was a pretty short-lived little thunderstorm there. The weather forecast keeps changing. Now it's saying it's going to rain again over the next 3 hours. I finish this and it's still not raining. I gotta go rescue my board, which should have all the batteries charged up by now. It stayed bone dry. And just like that, she's protected from the elements overnight. Oh, actually. Get in there. There. Well, at least my batteries are all charged up for tomorrow. Green across the board on the 3 batteries that I could charge. Skateboard stayed bone dry underneath my rain poncho. So if I undo the inner zip here, now I have perfect visibility through to the rear of my tent, and I can keep an eye on my board and still have visibility protection from this side, and will help get a bit of a draft coming through. So right now I face a dilemma that every camper has to face in their life. Do I play video games or do I read manga? Would it really be a mic video if I didn't bring a needless amount of tech? So the little handheld device I have here, it's called the Mangmi Air X. It's an Android-based little handheld game console. It's not super powerful, but at the time I bought it was only 80 bucks. Price might have gone up because of RAM shortages and whatnot, but yeah, it's mostly used for like emulating games. It should be able to handle up to light PS2 era games. Yeah, see, it just runs, straight up runs Android. One thing I don't like about this is the screen. I don't know how well that comes across on the GoPro. But it ghosts like mad with motion. I mean, you get what you pay for, I guess, but yeah, it bothers the heck out of me. Oh, I've got Bravely Default for the 3DS and a whole bunch of N64 games. I don't think I can show what I'm playing because Nintendo is very against shmemulation. Huh. For whatever reason, it does not want to load the game. Yeah, you can you can see all the stuff that I have installed on here. It's not much, because I don't really play this a lot. This is my bring camping device, the beater device, as it were. It's like the size of a Nintendo Switch Lite. Yeah, I don't know why, but nothing that I try to run wants to run. It keeps crashing, so I think we're gonna go to reading. I stand by e-readers as one of the best pieces of technology that you can bring with you on any sort of backpacking trips. They're super lightweight, they're small, they can hold like 1 million books because books take up like no space, they're just words, right? The battery on these lasts forever because it's an e-ink screen. It's not constantly having to refresh the screen. Once it loads what's on the screen, it just has to keep the backlight on, and that's it. I can use my phone as a hotspot and download more books without having to worry about blowing through my data. It's nighttime now. Do you guys watch Small Plots? I'll do my best Kevin impersonation. Anywho, as you can see, it is basically nighttime. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna call it here and bid you guys a good night and see you guys in the morning. So. Good morning. It's like 5:45 in the morning. It's like 5:45. It's a bit chilly. It's like 6 degrees right now. The hardest part of the morning is taking the sleeping bag off. Of course, the zipper's stuck. Why wouldn't it be? It's a cold one this morning. All right. Let's pop this blow stand. Oh yeah, batteries are cold, man. This thing's chugging just to get me up a slight hill, and it's the battery's full. Cold and wet is the absolute worst combination of things for riding this thing. The benefit to riding this early in the morning is that I basically have the roads all to myself. All right, we made it to the train station. All right, we managed to make it back home. And I didn't even touch that third battery. A semi-successful kickoff to the summer of Eskate adventures. You know, wasn't too happy about one of my batteries deciding it wanted to have that wire pop off of the charging connector. But hey, but anyways, thanks for watching this one, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm all about unconventional electric adventuring, including one of the biggest of which is electric skateboard backpacking. So make sure you're subscribed if you're into that shit.